question and answer session for your debut album, Love Is Not Dying. First of all,
Thank you.
congratulations. And I'm just going to be the bridge here between you and the media that are going to ask you a few questions. Okay, so we don't really have much time. We're just going to get into it. First up, Creative Disc.
Hey Jerry, it's so nice to meeting you again.
Hello.
How are you? My name is Dunde Yuwono from creativedisc.com. We've met on February and October back then in 2019. Congratulations on your debut album, Love Is Not Dying. I love it very much. The mood of the album is so amazing.
Thank you.
And speaking of the album itself, it has been like 7 days. I assume the album is already released. How well do you think the album so far?
It's been performing really, really well. I don't have the numbers in front of me right now, but it's been, I would guess, it's like, 20 plus million streams. I don't know. Zoe would know better than I do.
You're closing in on 100 million.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so you were close. You're really close.
Yeah, 1 million streams first week. I'm assuming that actual sales are really good, but yeah, it's been unreal. Like I try not to measure the success of a project off of the numbers. My favorite metric to go by is how many of my friends text me about it, because they don't have to text me about it. They're only really hitting me up if they it really connects with them. So I've gotten a lot of really nice messages from people that I know.
All right, awesome. Up next, from Tribun Sumsel.
Okay. Hi. Jerry.
Hi.
My name is Melissa. What do you think about in this situation that pandemic corona, and you want to kamu inginkan kamu kan bisa tolong ya Mbak Nadia ya.
Siap.
Mau ngadain konser nih, tapi di tengah pandemi corona ini, jadi gimana menurut sendiri?
All right. So she's asking your future tour dates, and what's happening right now. What are your thoughts and what are your plans about it?
So we can't really plan on anything yet because, we're still the governments of the world are still assessing this thing's actually going to last. So it is a bit early to start making plans, because I do have, the rest of 2020 is booked out for me with the new dates that I've re-announced. But as soon as physically possible, I'm gonna be touring again. It's a really crazy time and a lot of people are hurting, and it's really difficult for most people to deal with this sort of thing. So I'm obviously itching to get back on the road and performing and stuff, but I want to focus my attention to more productive places.
All right. We hope you will get back on the road soon. All right. Up next, Kumparan. Silakan.
Hello. Hi. Can you
Hi.
hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Good. I'm Hesti from Kumbaran. I just want to ask, I read that you wrote this album in isolation. How was the experience like for you? And how are you hanging in the midst of this bizarre time? Because you're also now releasing it when most people are self-isolating.
Right. Thanks for the question. So I wrote it in isolation, but not because of the pandemic. That's just really how I work, is alone in my studio. My whole album is self-produced and all the songs are written entirely by me, with the exception of one, which is Not Your Friend. So I think it's, as horrible as it is, it's quite fitting that my album is coming out during a time when people are very much alone or in small groups of people, because this album was written in isolation. And personally, I feel like it's listened to best in isolation, just because it's so introspective, and there's a lot of emotions, and it's not party music, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's like most of my songs you don't play for like a room full of people that are like trying to have fun. It's more of like a chill, relaxed vibe, and I find that you get the most out of it when you're just doing your own thing with headphones. And that's my favorite way to listen to music. So,
Thank you.
thanks.
All right, up next from Hi Magazine.
Okay. Hello, Jeremy.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. I want to ask. I want to ask you about one specific question. It's about your statement about not giving up college while also pursuing your music. So, are you others school teenagers? I want to ask you about your opinions on how to thrive in music career without giving up in formal education. I just want you to give them some advice how to manage that.
Right. So the way I always approached it was, and this is like what my family taught me, is that school always comes first. A lot of it is setting your priorities. I think the best advice I can give is whatever you can do, like whatever if you're making music and releasing it on the internet and that's all you're doing, you can do that with a full-time job. You can do that while you're in school. It only makes sense to leave school if it makes sense for you to tour and play shows on the road. And in order for that to happen, 99% of the time, you have to establish a following or fan base through the internet. So I spent 4 years of college building a fan base on the internet, making music in my free time. And I wasn't making music particularly fast. I was definitely taking my time, releasing like one EP a year plus a couple songs here and there. So like 8 songs a year for 4 years. I was able to do all my studies and get everything done. And by the end of my 4 years of school, I had a fan base, and it didn't make sense for me to stop going to school until I was ready to tour, if that makes sense. So I would say anything that you like, it's very, very doable if you're willing to teach yourself to do it completely on your own. I think it gets more challenging when you start involving other people, and it really gets more time consuming when you have to rely on more people. But that's how I found it worked for me.
All right, that's some really good advice. Very deep. Up next, from Gadis.
Hi, Jeremy. How are you?
Hi. Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm Nadine. I'm from Gadis Magazine. I want to ask you, this is your first legit album, right? So, can you tell us the story behind it? Like, why you choose the title "Love Is Not Dying" and etc.
Yeah. So, "Love Is Not Dying." The title came, I think, after the whole project was finished, and a lot of the songs are about love. I think a lot of people can have different explanations for what the title means to them. It means a very specific thing to me that I don't really want to talk about, because I really like the way everyone is drawing their own conclusions about what it means to them, and it sort of makes it more special to me when people don't know the reason that I made that name. But there's a lot of themes of love, and there's a lot of like playing around with all the different kinds of love, whether it's like healthy or toxic or romantic and there's a lot of other really serious themes that of his to their lives in one way or another.
Well, yeah, I take it differently too because in this situation, it's a whole different translation, right? Okay, thank you. Maybe next.
Thanks.
Okay. Up next, Seth.
Okay. Hello, Jeremy. I'm Fari.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How about you?
I'm good. And my question is, "Love Is Not Dying" have a unique sign in every song. Can you tell us what the meaning of that sign?
Yeah, so the signs or the symbols, there's 4 of them. We had a different symbol for each single for the 3 singles leading up to the album, and then a 4th symbol was sort of tied onto all of them when the album came out. And those initially represented the original working title that I had for the album, which I'm not going to say because it's just more interesting that way, but each of the symbols sort of connected to a song, like the heart symbols connected to Always I'll Care, the stars connected to Julia, and so on. And then the last symbol sort of represents the rest of the project. And yeah, it's something that I came up with when I had the original title for the album. And when I switched the album title, I still wanted to include it because it was still really relevant to the songs and the meaning behind the symbols.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, up next from CNN Indonesia.
Okay, hi Jeremy.
Hello.
My name is Gilang from cnnindonesia.com. Congratulations for your new album.
Thanks.
I want to ask you, do you have any special project with your fans around the world for this album or to promote this album?
Any special what?
Project
with fans?
Yes, like make some collaboration video or something like that.
Not that I'm aware of. I think I've seen like fans making videos, and one thing that I did see, I mean, I wasn't involved in this, but one of my fan accounts did a poll and asked fans to pick every song on the album and think of a color, a word that describes it, and how it makes them feel. And they did that for like each song, and then they like put together this video that it like scrolls through and you get to see what everyone said about each song. That's the only thing that I've seen, and I haven't been involved in doing a project with my fans for the album.
And what's the story behind your album?
Well, there's no like one story for the whole album. It's really just all the songs are about, you know, my life this past year and a half and all these different situations and how they sort of live together in different ways.
Hey Jeremy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. From the media, any other questions? Ada yang mau nanya lagi mungkin?
Can I ask one more question?
Boleh.
So last time we spoke, Jeremy, you told us that you need to listen to the album, the full album, to make sense for the title "Love Is Not Dying." And I really, get your message into that. I mean, yes, it totally makes sense. You name your album "Love Is Not Dying," but after releasing the album, do you still listening to your album? And is there any feelings like, I should make this songs more like this one or like this one, or maybe okay, it's perfect the way?
Yeah, I think it's perfect the way that it is. I took so much time after finishing it. Like there was a lot of opportunity for me to change things while it was coming out. and I didn't. I took a lot of care, like finishing each song and making sure it was exactly what I wanted it to be. Lately, I've just been thinking about how I want to approach making music moving forward, because I am really proud of this album, and the only thing that I think it has left, the only thing that I have left to do with this album is two things. One is figure out how I'm going to play it live and perform it in front of people. And the other thing is how, I guess, gauging the reaction of fans and seeing how this album fits into everyone's lives from what I can see online. Yeah.
Cool.
Oke. Ada lagi yang mau tanya? Apa sudah?
Dari CNN Indonesia mau tanya.
One more question, please.
Tadi
udah
duluan
habis, maaf ya.
Oh, udah habis.
Oke.
Okay. I think that's about it. That wraps it up. Thank you so much, Jeremy Zucker, for
Cool.
joining us. Congratulations
Thank
once
you,
again
guys.
for your album.
Thank you.
We hope you stay safe, and we'll see you in Indonesia soon.
Thanks. You all too. Yeah, see you guys soon.
See you.
Guys, take care.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Bye.
Bye.